So based on what you've seen in the past, do you think we're going to have a little bit more of a serious game? Do you think we might even have some fun things spelled out in the champs band today? Or what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we're looking more a little bit of fun? Maybe a little bit tryhard just to show off, hey, we're number 1 seed. NG Blossom is not going to be anything to mess with.
First band Rumble worries me, so maybe. I don't know, like, I'm hoping to see a just fun game, but I also wouldn't mind seeing Glacial Rising Phoenix fulfill my prediction 2 weeks ago when I said they would be the ones to beat NG Blossom.
So looking now, coming from NG Blossom, we have the Graves and the Orn band. Very strong picks for the respective lanes. Graves is still a monster in the jungle. No matter how much they might try to tweak with him or the itemizations, he's still just so powerful. So definitely a good pick to take away. Maybe try to take some of the wind away from Glacial Rising Phoenix. Yeah,
absolutely. Stripping away Senna and Caitlyn. A couple of champs you really don't want to leave for Catinator. Rumble's an interesting ban. I'm fairly certain that I've seen Rumble played before by NG Blossom, but I can't for the life of me remember when. And Ezreal wrapping up that first round. These are all reasonable bans. But that Bard pickup, whew, that's spicy.
Definitely one of the stronger picks when it comes to support, and we'll definitely see if he decides to pull off some pretty big brain roams across the map, see if he can influence the team and kind of help get a kickstart going to their momentum.
Yeah, and in the ALS, Bard's running that 67% win rate. Oh, that's just a Kiana Rakan bottom. That's adorable. Oh no, that's Kiana. What am I thinking? An early Kiana, though, I don't know that we've seen Kiana played in this series, and I know we haven't seen Rakan win. Yeah, they're the stats.
First time for everything, Jeff. We'll have to exactly see, how much they can push forward with a little bit of momentum. Maybe they're having fun. Maybe they just want to say, hey, we can play just about anything. You can't always ban us out. Wait, are we only picking things that haven't been picked before besides Bard?
I know I could have sworn we've had some Sivir games. That's interesting. This is starting to look like a pretty powerful team for Glacial Rising Phoenix, though. It doesn't look like they're playing silliness. It looks like they're really going for a solid team comp.
So you see the Cassiopeia come in. It's very strong against the Kiana and the Rakan. Doesn't allow them to get in and out of those team fights or even doing positioning for weird kind of flanks when it comes to setting up for those team fights. So the Cassiopeia pick is extremely strong in this situation. And now we have the Kog'Maw being locked in.
Catinator has shown some real talent on Kog'Maw. I remember early in the split, everything else was banned out. Catinator just picked up Kog'Maw and went to town. That's a scary pick.
And with how strong that champion is right now, along with the AP build extremely coming out through the mid lane and also even some parts of the bot lane, it's an extremely strong pick for this instance, and we'll see how they want to flip it with the team, because right now they're still very open with these flex picks.
Banning out Gangplank is definite respect to Jeremy Phillip. He loves that champion. He's done so well on it. He played convincingly with Gangplank yesterday. Brand, Silas, I understand. I think Set might be like the quintessential champion for NG Blossom, so also good to just get him out of there.
And now we have the Talia hover. We can see... Honestly, I'm not even sure how they want to throw this around, because with the... Okay, now we're making a little more sense. We have the Draven picked up for NG Blossom.
Is playing games. NG Blossom is definitely playing games.
So first thought comes to mind would be the Kiana jungle, Kog'Maw mid, and the Draven with the Rakan in the bot lane. So that would assume that you would have Jeremy Flip's pick open for the top lane to decide to see if they can get that counter matchup.
Hakarim jungle, it's a strong pick. We've seen Hakarim jungle do very well for a number of teams so far. I respect it.
Now hovering through a couple different picks, but the lock-in of the Malphite for Joey Desu of Glacial Rising Phoenix. Pretty solid top laner. He's able to soak a lot of the damage. Has a pretty decent laning phase, but we'll see how he influences the map, between TPs and his ultimate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty solid comp there. You have a lot of very powerful engage, a lot of fast roamy champions. This is a pretty good team to roam and put pressure all over the map. NG Blossom picking up Aatrox. I hope that guy's watching so that he can see Jeremy Flip play Aatrox. The rest of this, I don't know.
So now it's the final lock-in, just like we talked about. Glacial Rising Phoenix going to have Malphite in the top for Joey Desu, Hecarim for Duddy Brains in the jungle, Cassiopeia for Skiz, Epic Fail Guy, and Xylandis on Sivir and Bard, respectively.
Not trusting this other setup right now. It looks like NG Blossom's playing Aatrox top, Rakan jungle, Kog'Maw mid, Draven and Kiana bottom. They might switch that last second, but I don't trust them much at all right now. Okay. It looks like NG Blossom is leaving that locked in. Neat. So we are getting ready. We're about 3 minutes away from watching through spectator delay as we get ready for the very last game of the regular split. I don't know. This is gonna be a weird one.
Hey, it might be weird, but at the very least, it's going to be, an exciting game. No matter what, it's the last game of the regular split. Both teams are looking to have fun, but also show their own prowess within their champion pools. No matter what, at the end of the day, it's the last game of the regular season. We're ready to have fun. Let's get hyped up. No matter what, we will be moving forward, getting ready for this playoff series.
Yeah, there's basically nothing on the table. Enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself. I want to see TME playing Kiana probably more than anything else that we have going on in this game. I mean, I also really want to see Rakan jungle. I've jungled a lot of weird champions in my time. I've never tried Rakan, so maybe I should just watch and learn and see how this works.
Something tells me we might all be able to learn a couple things from this game. With the Rakan jungle, maybe it's just a perma-ganker wherever it can just keep moving and flowing constantly throughout the lanes, picking up camps and farm as needed. And then with the Kiana jungle, it's going to be extremely good at locking down their bot lane for the Draven, with constantly roaming up to the river, grabbing that element, and then to throw it right back out, freeze them in place, and let Draven just keep pounding through their HP bars and just trying to get his triumph stacks over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fairly certain that this is going to... There's a lot of thought to this kind of comp. I'm not saying that NG Blossom put that thought into this. It's very possible that they hit the random buttons a couple of times, but you could see the thought that would exist in this team comp.
So based on what you're seeing, based on these team comps, what are you looking for? What are you expecting? Are you expecting a lot of team fights, a little bit of picks? Are you looking for just a hard objective control? What are you hoping to see between these two teams?
Expecting to see a lot of early game action here. This strikes me as the type of thing that you do for, flashy replays. I'm expecting to see a good mobile team game coming out of Glacial Rising Phoenix. I think they're going to play their fundamentals pretty well today, and just try and go for that W, try and secure a win against the best team. It'll still count no matter what. So,
most definitely, and the biggest thing I hope to see from NG Blossom, maybe a little bit more of a pick side, based on because they have the Rakan and maybe the Kiana, with the Aatrox maybe trying to pick off certain members from that extremely mobile Glacial Rising Phoenix team. but definitely still be on the lookout for their team fight potential, as they have a lot of poke from the Kog'Maw and also the ability to engage and counter-engage with the Kiana and Rakan.
Black Oreo Cookie took Phase Rush. I love it. Of course he took Phase Rush. We're going to see him chasing people down. This is going to be a pretty wild game. I don't know. These are some fantastic choices. I think that W Brains is going to be a huge playmaker for this. You know, you talk about, jungle diff a lot, especially during season 10. This is one where Hikarim is really going to bring a lot of pressure and really be a powerful force. As we come onto the Rift, though, and I get my my screen ordering right. Yeah, I'm hoping to also see just once for our streamer Monochrome. Let's have that invade. Let's have that level 1 fight.
So based on what you see right now, we have both these teams getting ready to walk forward. Maybe looking to meet, maybe just get that early vision out, try to get their vision line set up so they can make sure, no crazy invades coming out. But at the same time, it looks like we're just going to have a nice standard setup for these teams.
Disappointed. Like, deeply disappointed. It looks like a bit of an invade happening, though.
Okay, here we go, a little bit of fight breaking out. Jeremy Flip trying to get a little bit of poke off. Chunks out Duddy Brains even just a little bit, but that's enough that he might even want to go ahead and think about resetting, getting some of that HP back. But I will say the big thing is that Blue Vision side ward on the side of NG Blossom's red buff, that'll help, kind of control the pathing of where this Rakan might start.
Well, he also wants to go back to pick up an Oracle Lens, so there's nothing surprising here.
Looking at these two teams now, we have Martin on the Rakan starting off his red buff, and then we have Hecarim starting on his blue buff, so we have same side of the map starting for these junglers, so there's a good chance they might meet either at that scuttle or at a gank, respectively.
And in case anyone is interested, Martin went W into Q, just so you know how he's doing this. In case someone needs to know how to jungle Rakan, because I kind of do.
Looking now, Jeremy Flip is trying to assert his lane dominance on Joey Desu, slowly pushing him away from the lane, chunking him out, taking that passive shield away every chance he gets, trying to create a gap in order to say, hey, I'm going to take the wave whenever I want it. You're going to have to sit back and let me push the wave to you.
Yeah, that's what you tend to expect out of an Aatrox. You're a lane bully. You need to bully. But I expect the Malphite to be able to ignore a lot of that. Seeing a lot of aggression out of XDME, though.
Looking at these two teams, just trying to get through their lane phase, respectively pushing, clearing. You have Rakan clearing through his jungle. He went from red buff to blue buff to Gromp, now making his way towards the bot side scuttle. Hecarim doing a clear all the way across the board, looking to go, but now you have Jeremy Flip doing a whole bunch of trading against Joey Desu. Joey Desu is on the run now that Jeremy Flip has his Conqueror procced, and he's ready to push him back and heal through all the damage he pushes back. However, Jeremy Flip is getting pretty low from all these Malphite Qs over and over again, so he might need to be careful in these upcoming minutes. And he goes all in, and Joey Desu gets the first blood on Jeremy Flip.
Yeah, that was greed. That was raw greed. I don't know what Jeremy Flip thought would come of that, but he definitely got the expected hit.
Duddy Brains coming in, Ignite going down on Draven. He's getting low, and Duddy Brains picks up the kill on Cantinator. And once again, now Joey Desu is knocked out by Jeremy Flip. What a bloodbath in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Jeremy Flip's super low after that, but there was no vision on bottom lane.
none at all. And that's what we were talking about. Some of these very high tempo junglers able to move back and forth, pick up these kills, move forward, and then just keep putting their aggression down upon these lanes. And that's what we're seeing right now, is these junglers just making their impact. And even respective lane trading in the top lane, it's just a bloodbath up there right now.
You also have a lot of low mobility champions on Huge Minion Difference today. I mean, Black Oreo Cookies on Kog'Maw, famous for his mobility. And Draven, also not exactly known for being able to get around.
Duddy Brains has the ghost. You have Black Oreo Cookies flashing forward, and then Martin will pick up the kill on Duddy Brains. But now Black Oreo Cookies in a slight bit of a pickle. But Kiana goes forward XDME, but he has to flash away. Skiz playing as best as he can in that situation, trying to make sure he stays alive with 3 members of Blossom in the mid lane.
Fully expect XDME to be roaming a lot this game. Kiana, normally a pretty mobile champ. And that's going to help offset Xylandis being everywhere.
You never top laners trading blows back and forth in the top lane, looking to see what they can do, try to chunk each other out just a little bit. But Jeremy Flip is taken down by Joey Desu. Joey Desu just able to tank through all this damage and just saying, hey, I'm Malphite, I have more armor than you have damage, I can take it all, and I will keep fighting.
Not only that, he's running that corrupting potion, and Jeremy Flip came in with 3 Doran's Blades. You would think that'd be enough, but nope.
Looking at these top laners, they're just battling out to show their dominance. The junglers are just trying to do what they can to try to help influence the map across the board for their teams. It's a very high tempo and a very kill pressured lane across the board, because all 3 lanes are looking to fight. But at the same time, it's starting to pay off for those teams as they're starting to build a gold lead, which you have 1,000 now for Glacial Rising Phoenix. 1,000 gold lead.
So terrifying news. Joey Desu's level 6. As soon as that teleport comes up in about 300 seconds, I'd say, Joey Desu could be anywhere ulting it on this map.
But now we have Glacial Rising Phoenix starting up the Dragon. You have Duddy Brains, Epic Fail Guy, and Xylandis all starting it right now. XDME is looking to see what's going on. He peeks up, he sees what's happening, so the team's now looking to rotate around if they don't have the available members now to contest this first Drake.
Yeah, it's a pretty free Dragon. There's nothing to go after here. I think that's when you just start rotating and putting pressure elsewhere. Unfortunately, Martin is off in the top jungle. Probably not going to be able to do much more than a Scuttle Crab.
But like you were talking about, that corrupting pot just ticking on through, but he goes in hard on Jeremy Flip. Jeremy Flip taken low, and Joey Desu will take down Jeremy Flip for the 3rd time in the first 7 minutes of the game.
More than that, he also got that ultimate out of Jeremy Flip. That was an R hit that did basically nothing. So he's not going to have that when he gets back.
Maybe a little bit of misplay from Jeremy Flip, but at the same time, he was trying to do everything he could to survive. Without the flash, he was maybe hoping he'd get a little bit more healing out, maybe try to get some movement speed, but Joey Desu just did not give him a chance to breathe in that quick little change of blows, which allowed him to pick up the kill.
Absolutely. Joey Desu is going to be a monster at this point. Walking with 3 kills. He's, about 6,000 or 7,000 gold over Jeremy Flip. Behind in CS, but that is all.
Looking across these 2 teams now, starting to pick up their items. We have a tier stacking on Black Oreo Cookies, as well as Cantinator looking to pick up and start their scaling. But we know that even without the first major spike of an IE on Draven, he'll still be able to get a lot of strength. But right now we have a quick pause coming out as it looked like Epic Fail Guy has disconnected. This will give us a chance for the casters to breathe and maybe kind of figure out exactly how this game is progressing.
It's close. You're about 9,000 gold or 900 gold off right now. I think you're seeing a lot of dominance in mid lane for Skiz, who is just controlling the CS, keeping Black Oreo Cookies off of gold. Elsewhere, it's close to even, if you want to call, you know, Joey Desu being up 3 kills even. But no one has really run away with a lead yet.
Correct. The biggest gap when it comes to gold is definitely coming from the top lane. You have about a 500 gold lead on the side of Joey Desu, and then you have Skiz being roughly 300 gold ahead of Black Oreo Cookies. So that's where all the gold lead is right now. You know, looking for these teams to kind of push those advantages, maybe build a lead. But Draven is definitely building up all those adoration stacks. He's currently at 125. You know, he's ready to keep going. Maybe cash that in the next couple of minutes. But let's get right back into this game.
Yeah, Catnator is definitely a carry here. He's, even if he goes out even in this game, I think he's going to be pretty powerful as we move on to a mid to late game.
So looking now as what you're seeing, would you say that Jeremy Flip needs to kind of lower his aggression a little bit, maybe try to pull the wave back towards him, maybe allowing Martin to come assist him in the top lane, or do you think he needs to keep pressing this advantage and maybe just try to make sure that Joey Desu can't influence any more of the map with his ultimate and with the TP coming up soon?
So there's a right choice here and there's a moral choice here, and the right choice here is to be a little more passive. The moral choice, what I want to see him do, is keep going all in, make this a high kill game, give us a show.
100%, we're fighting for the vision control around the bot side of the map. You know, we have Drake coming up in about 2.5 minutes. They're just trying to protect those pink wards, but now we have a fight going in. XDME goes in with, and he takes out Duddy Brains, but now you have Martin chasing down Xylandis, realizes it's going to be a little bit too far, and so they back off.
Catnator whipped an ult there. I mean, Xylandis was fast. Xylandis got out of there quickly and just managed to avoid that ult. That might have brought him low enough to finish that kill, but
Joey Desu goes in hard on Jeremy Flip. Jeremy Flip counters with the ultimate itself, but Joey Desu is not taking any damage from this Aatrox to the top lane.
Yeah, it might be time to back off there.
It's an absolute bloodbath in this top lane as both these teams are just fighting for dominance. Malphite, you know, able to sit there and soak all of his damage. Just he has to burn through that passive shield before he can do any solid damage on him. But you can just see here in the bot lane, they're just poking out damage with the Bard and the Sivir. They were able to take XDME a little bit lower, so they're going to have to go ahead and reset and get ready for this next little bit of push.
I'm sure Jeremy Flip is going to want to talk to that guy later and figure out why he thinks Aatrox is so good.
Looking around the map now, both teams are getting ready to set up. Herald has spawned. Teams are starting to hit a little bit of those spikes. We have the Cinder Hulk completed for Martin on the Rakan, and we can see those lost chapters are starting to come out for Skiz and Black Oreo Cookies, as well as you have the Man Immune completed for Cantnator. So all these teams are starting to ramp up. They're starting to scale, getting ready to do what they can whenever it comes to progressing towards the mid game.
So Joey Desu has 2 very powerful tools right now. He has a Glacial Shroud, and he also has a teleport. Jeremy Flip used his teleport to return to top lane. Joey Desu didn't. That's going to be Dragon priority right there.
But then we have Xylandis looking to roam up towards the mid lane. He throws down his ultimate, but then Black Oreo Cookies is forced to flash away because he knows if he doesn't, then Skiz will easily take him down. XDME roamed up, tried to see if he could match Xylandis. Wasn't able to find anything. Now he's just in a clear vision to see what he can do. But these supports just hovering around this mid lane, looking to see what kind of influence they can pose across the map.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing just... Normally you would think with jungler like Kakar... Oh, I have a pretty clean kill on Skiz. You would normally think with a jungler like Akaram you would see a lot more pressure on the map than we have. It's been Xylandis bringing the pressure.
You know, 100%. He's using a lot of that that dominance and that mobility he has. But as you talked about, Joey Desu decided to make his way all the way down here towards this Drake. They're looking to fight. They're looking to see what they can do and try to take away this pressure. Maybe open it up. He goes in hard onto the Kog'Maw. He's going through. Hecarim ulting in, and Red Team secures the Dragon. They're looking to do what they can. Keep fighting out. Keep hiding around. And as we see the Cassiopeia ultimate coming out, XDME's picked off. Black Oreo Cookies is already down. Cantnator's going down as well. They're now running through them, running through their back line, chasing them down before they can get away. and it looks like Martin and Jeremy Flip are able to secure their lives as they escape from these teams, looking to see what they can do, reset, trying to hold on to what little bit of momentum they have left.
Secure the tower. They're going to lose a lot of plates on this mid lane, possibly just taking the mid lane, but they secured the dragon. That was important.
Martin going in, looking to harass, clear the minion wave, try to secure as much of that tower's HP as they can. You know, only losing, what, 2 plates?
Yeah, they're still only about 1,000 gold behind, less than. That's not a bad place to be, especially after losing 3 members in a team fight. They're still close in, they're still playing, and raw player skill is still on the side of huge minion difference here, so...
Exactly. They were able to pick up the, you know, the Drake in that fight, so they didn't lose too terribly much, but at the same time, they have to make sure that they can kind of slow the momentum and bring it back towards their side in these upcoming moments. You have Jeremy Flip chasing down. Martin comes in, knocks up Joey Desu. Joey Desu forced to flash. Jeremy Flip chasing him down hard, looking to see maybe he can secure this kill before Malphite's able to get away. Looks like he's going to kite back up. He's just trying to waste as much time as possible before he goes, and Jeremy Flip picking up the shutdown on Joey Desu.
You know, that could be a pretty good time to consider rotating towards a Shelly, but I think with Martin being as low health as he is, just pushing some plates might also be a safer choice.
You know, watching these teams now looking to take whatever advantages they can in these small moments. You know, Joey Desu just finishing out that Frozen Heart, you know, getting more armor, getting more mana, looking to be able to trade more effectively with Jeremy Flip. It's definitely a very top-centric and jungle-centric game, as we've seen so far, with Martin and Duddy Brains pushing their influence, securing these dragons, and then the top laners just going back and forth, trading, killing, moving around and helping out their teams as much as they can. This is a very good showing from those 4 players.
I mean, I'm only waiting to see a little bit more out of... You pick someone like Cassiopeia and Bard and Hikarum, you expect to see a lot more rotation.
Well, then you just talked about it. Hecarim goes in, Martin's able to catch him off, and the Bard will take a Cantinator out of the fight. Martin's now on the run, trying to do what he can, flashes out. But Glacial Rising Phoenix is just chasing them down hard. Cantinator's exhausted, he can't get away. Epic Fail Guy takes the kill on Cantinator. But now Black Oreo Cookies is on the run away from Skiz. Skiz is not trying to get him any room, but he has to back off. Joey Desu made his way back to the mid lane now to see if he can help his team out. Once again, these teams are so mobile, so able to pick off members in these small chances, and that's what they did. You know, they picked off Cantinator, and Martin was forced to just run as fast as he could to get away and not give him another kill.
I mean, XCME was probably out of position there, trying to go in and get a ward down, I suspect, in the tri-bush, and just found Hikarum waiting. And that's how you die.
Looking at these 2 teams now, you have the Essence Reaver picked up for Epic Fail Guy. You have the Haunting guys coming out for Skiz, you know, starting to ramp up that damage, build up that AP, and trying to get him into a position where Skiz can become that carry like you talk about, become that damage carry in these fights.
I mean, we're finally seeing a Shelly attempted. Pretty late Shelly. It's definitely worth a lot less at this point in the game. You know, plates are down. This is probably just trying to apply pressure so that they can get some map control. NG Blossom is a team that loves to control neutral objectives and control the map. I think they definitely need to start pushing in towers if they hope to do that.
You know, correct. Looking across the map right now, they might try to maybe crack open top lane because of how low it already is. But you can see Cantinator down here doing what he can to hold this bot lane tower from the aggression from Glacial Rising Phoenix. They spotted out their team now. A lot of the teams are looking to make their way to this bot lane of the river, maybe fight their way and siege mid lane out. First turret picked up by Jeremy Flip in the top lane. Herald has been dropped in mid lanes. We'll see if they can try to contest this. But I do believe that tower is going to go down.
Interestingly, at this point, we now have a gold lead in favor of huge minion difference. Not a big one, but there is one.
Barton, when it comes down, able to catch out Black Oreo Cookies. He's going to keep going in. Malphite ult goes wide. Both these teams trying so hard to try to secure what they can. It's all over the place. Martin goes back in, looking to knock him up. Draven ultimate coming through, takes out more damage. And then yeah, you see that Cantnator takes off Duddy Brains, but now Joey Detsu's on the run, trying to do what he can, get away. And then Cantnator picks up another kill in this fight. Glacial Rising Phoenix on the run, but Jeremy Flip will not let them go. He keeps going, flashes forward, knocks him up. XDME takes off Skiz. And now Xylandis and Epic Fail got on the run for the life, but Jeremy Flip just won't let them go. He's keep running him down, keep going, doing more damage, picks up the kill on Xylandis, and now he's out. What a massive tempo and momentum change in the side for NG Blossom.
That fight started very sloppily, but where Glacial Rising Phoenix messed up, they failed to stick to a priority target. You continue to see Joey Detsu moving for Black Oreo Cookies, just going deep, while everyone else is getting collapsed upon and back, trying to go after other targets. They failed to prioritize, and that cost them a dragon and 4 deaths.
But now Jeremy Flip might be caught off. He's trying to do what he can, maybe using the Blossom to skip away, and he's just trying to make sure he can create that gap. Duddy Brains and Joey Detsu are bloodthirsty as they look to come after what they can to kind of swing the momentum back in their way, because you have a 2.5k gold lead. But now Skiz is getting run down by Martin and Cantnator. Martin is getting away. Cantnator picks up the kill. TP coming in from Joey Detsu, but it's going to be a little bit too late. Oh, he goes in. Unstoppable Force on the Cantnator. Shuts him down. That is more gold on the side, but Martin won't let him go. XDME and Martin are doing what they can. You have Black Oreo Cookies coming down from the top side of the river. Joey Detsu trying to get away, but he just can't. He's going to get taken down by Black Oreo Cookies.
That was unfortunate. I mean, that became a 2-for-1, so that's fine. They picked up a small bounty off of Cantnator. That's fine, but you know, they lost the tower after that as well. It's just more pressure going towards huge minion difference as they start to play this map and objective game.
You know, NG Blossom setting up this 4,000... No, sorry, a little bit under 4,000 gold lead. A little over, sorry, 3,500 gold lead as they're able to, you know, take those towers, secure a couple kills in these fights, get the correct shutdowns where they're needed, and now you can look, Cantnator backed and almost bought a full Infinity Edge with just one back. You know, this is going to be a very strong Draven as he comes around into this mid game, and he's going to be able to see, you know, how much damage he can flip it across. But Jeremy Flip, once again, just fighting it out with Joey Detsu. But you can just see the Malphite passive just won't let him crack the HP bar until he gets to that thick shield amount.
Well, that Black Cleaver is going to help a lot with that process. I mean, you're definitely seeing a lot of damage being built now. You're even seeing a Hextech Proto Belt built on this Rakan, which I guess this is how you play Jungle Rakan. But so much damage. All Glaive is completed on XDME. Everyone's building to kill.
Exactly. So you can see NG Blossom is starting to shift their priority and their vision up around the Baron. You can see that Glacial Rising Phoenix is trying to do what they can, get a little bit of jungle, but NG Blossom is just going to go ahead and start the Baron now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've seen that Skids is bot lane, and even with a teleport, sure, they don't have any vision to teleport onto.
Teleport's coming in. The Kiana ultimate goes down, takes down 2, but it's able. Black Warrior Cookies picking up the kill on Xylandis. They're now chasing down Glacial Rising Phoenix, trying to do what they can to get away. Epic Fail guys being run down. Jeremy Flip picks up the kill. He's now running after Joey Detsu. Joey Detsu goes back in with Unstoppable Force, but Jeremy Flip won't let him get away for free for that, and he picks up the double kill onto Joey Detsu.
That last attempt by Joey Detsu was greedy. I understand you might be able to pick up a kill with the damage you can put off of that, but it's probably not enough to stop the Baron, and you're better off just being alive to help stop this minion push that's about to come in.
So Baron power play is now active for the side of NG Blossom. What do you think that Glacial Rising Phoenix can do to try to slow this momentum down? You know, at first it was a kind of even game, and then it went more towards Glacial Rising Phoenix, but now we can see the momentum has drastically changed what can Glacial Rising Phoenix do in order to slow this down and make it more of their game with their tempo?
They absolutely have to start prioritizing targets. You have Black Oreo Cookie and Catinator as hard carries, and we have to remember, these are very hard carries. Jeremy Flip and Martin are going to be trying to disrupt you hard. You have the dive. You should be able to delete at least one of them. You need to do that on the onset of the team fight and make it a 4v5 immediately.
Well, we have the Ocean Drake coming up for the third Drake, or the fourth Drake, sorry, as it's coming up the next 15 seconds. These teams looking to do what they can to dominate, maybe push out these waves, get ready to set up. But definitely this is going to be the fight for NG Blossom if they want to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a pretty important Drake. NG Blossom really wants to pick this up, but their ability to siege down is going to become more noticeable as this game goes on, and Ocean Soul is ideal for that.
And NG Blossom picks up their third Drake. That puts them in Soul Point. Now they have to be very careful for the side of Glacial Rising Phoenix. What are they going to do? How are they going to be able to slow this momentum down? They have to play safe and defensive, but at the same time, they have to make sure that Ocean Soul's not picked up. But Martin, once again, looking to disrupt, forces the flash out of Xylandis, and they're just doing what they can to try to say, hey, we have the Baron power play. We're going to push. We can go where we want. And I think that's the fault of Glacial Rising Phoenix. They have to look to make these picks whenever the opportunities presented to them.
So I absolutely respect them not trying to contest that Ocean Soul. That took some discipline. There was no way they would win that fight. They made the correct choice to just get some of their lanes kind of pushed out a little bit, give themselves some breathing room. They will have to contest Ocean Soul, but Ocean Point is not Ocean Soul.
Exactly. They know what fight has to be taken, what fight doesn't have to be taken. They're doing what they can to ramp up a little bit of that gold, maybe try to drop the lead down even just a little bit, maybe get some XP, but Jeremy Flip's looking to go back in, and it looks like he's not going to be contested on that, but mid lane turret is going to be taken down by Cantinator, and they're just sieging their way through, and you can see how much damage is coming out of Cantinator with that Infinity Edge and the now fully stacked Muramana.
Yeah, he's going to be a terrifying force. Again, Draven as a hyper carry. You don't tend to see a Draven in a competitive team game like this, but I think this is Catinator legitimately giving us a show. With the best champion to give a show.
Like we talked about, with it being the last game of the regular season, these guys are just kind of looking to flex a little bit of their muscles. You know, on the side of Martin, he's just showing, hey, I can play a little bit of everything. Cantinator saying, hey, I can carry, and Black Warrior Cookies once again also saying he can do the exact same thing. Both these guys putting out massive damage numbers in these team fights, and just looking to kind of show their dominance as the first seed team.
Yeah, Catinator is definitely showing us this is his league. I mean, we're seeing it back now. The Baron power play is worn off. There's been a lot of damage to the outer towers, now all completely gone, so that's a bad situation for Glacial Rising Phoenix, but all of NG Blossom's towers are still up. That's a lot of gold that could be picked up soon if they got the chance to like split push one out and grab a tower.
So talking about what you were just saying, you know, looking across the board, you have 6 towers taken for the side of NG Blossom, no towers taken for Glacial Rising Phoenix. How can they kind of make that influence? How can they, try to salvage some of this gold back to their side? Do they need to make these picks? Do they just need to play defensive and wait for the engage onto them? It's like you were saying, Martin and NXDME are just forcing so many disruptions in their team fights. What do they need to do to slow this momentum? But on the same time, what does NG Blossom need to do to finish this game out?
I feel like looking for a pick is a very passive thing to be doing. You're just hoping that they misplay, and that's just not what NG Blossom has been doing. That's not how you win games, hoping that your opponents make the mistake. You need to just look for the team fight and make that hard dive and then capitalize on it. It might not be safe to do a split push at this point. I mean, your base is being knocked down right now. They're outside your base. with a very a very well equipped Catinator just beating down on towers.
Mark next to me looking at the game. They just take out Xylandis. We were talking about looking for the pick for Glacial Rising Phoenix onto NG Blossom, but NG Blossom decided to take it into their own hands and pick off Xylandis quickly. But now they're able to siege through. Martin goes in, takes out Epic Fail Guy, and they're running down. Duddy Brand's going to go down as well. Catinator still surviving. Teleport coming in. Skids is trying to do what he can to save this inhibitor turret with Joey Desu, and they just won't relent. NG Blossom just will not give them a chance to breathe. They're keeping going down. Skids going is just taken down by Jeremy Flip, and Joey Desu's on the run for his life, flashing away, trying to see if he can get away, but Oreo Cookies won't let him survive, and Catinator picks up the final kill.
Right before that fight started, I saw Catinator hit Epic Fail Guy once and put him below half health. That's how much damage he's doing.
Taken. And now they're looking to shift their sights over to this top lane, picking up 2 inhibitors, resetting, and going towards this Drake. You know, that is the soul point. This is where they have to fight. Tempered Fate comes down, only catches XDME. And now they're going to try to quickly back out, maybe reset, or just move straight towards this final Ocean Soul point.
They could probably move to this point. They're all very healthy. You know, you're going to have super minions flooding this base in a matter of moments, and bottom tower is also getting smacked really hard. This Ocean Soul's free.
You know, looking at the two teams now, we have a 13, almost 14,000 gold lead on the side for NG Blossom. They are absolutely dominating this game, as you can just see. And they just picked up the Ocean Soul, so now they're going to be even more of a stronger team to play against for the side of Glacial Rising Phoenix. And I'm not sure what they can do now to even try to slow down the momentum, if not even win the game.
I mean, it's going to require a throw from NG Blossom at this point. They're probably going to go take this Baron just for free and then finish this game off. There's nothing stopping
now. NG Blossom making their way towards the Baron. I'm not sure that Glacial Rising Phoenix can contest it, even if they wanted to. Jeremy Flip able to push through the top lane, try to create a little bit more of a minion pressure, but they're just going to shred straight through this Baron.
I mean, he doesn't even have to push it that hard. He's got a super minion coming in, so when you have super minions coming down 2 lanes, that's a good excuse to go get this dragon, or go get this Baron.
Just like that, Baron power play has been activated for NG Blossom. Now they're making their way back towards the base of Glacial Rising Phoenix. This might be their last stand as they get ready to hang on for as long as possible. They have to do what they can. They have to prioritize in these fights. They have to make sure they can slow down or stop the disruption from Martin XDME. This might be the deciding fight.
I mean, I think the deciding fight was probably a while ago. We're now just watching them clean it up. This is purely NG Blossom demonstrating why they are the number 1 seeded team in the ALS right now.
Tempered Fate able to connect on both Jeremy Flip and Martin, but they're able to quickly get out of the way. Silver Ultimate has to come down. They just can't find the momentum. They just can't find the gap. But you can see now, both these Nexus turrets are getting sieged down. Catinator able to just throw a couple auto attacks out, and it's almost about to go down. So there's only going to be one. Sorry, both Nexus turrets are still up. But for how much longer will they last?
Rotated bottom. Jeremy Flip is now rotating bottom to finish off the bottom tower. Go ahead and push that in, but with the siege of a Ocean Soul and a Baron, this is a matter of time.
You can see now third inhibitor being picked up, but Ensemble Force goes in. They're able to create a little bit of disruption in the back line, but then Joey Desu's taking low. Catinator picks up the first kill, but Epic Fail Guy. Duddy Brands goes down. Joey Desu goes down, and now they're just running down. Skiz taking off the last member of Glacial Rising Phoenix. Xylandis is being forced to go back, and there's nothing he can do. The last turret being sieged down, but they're bloodthirsty. They want this last kill. They want to pick up one more kill on this team, but it looks like the Nexus turret will go down. The Nexus being beaten down by all the super minions, and that will be the game. The deciding factor for the number 1 seed of NG Blossom.
In that fight, you finally saw the execution of the tactic that this entire team was drafted around, being able to dive in very hard and just delete somebody, deleting Black Oreo cookies. It took way too long to accomplish that. He was around for a good 3 or 4 seconds while still being hit directly and hard by Joey Desu and Duddy Brains. And Catinator was fine. Just fine. So that was how far ahead they were. That was how far ahead NG Blossom was by the end of that game.
So based on what you saw throughout the game, what was the deciding fight? What was the deciding moment of that game where you could just see that NG Blossom had taken the lead? They had made sure that they decided that this was when they just completely swept the momentum away from Glacial Rising Phoenix.
That dragon fight where Joey Desu tried to dive and continue to chase on Black Oreo cookies, failed to get him, and then everyone on NG Blossom just collapsing from around and tearing up his back line, catching Joey Desu in their jungle. They won that team fight there because it was sloppy, and that's where Glacial Rising Phoenix began to fall behind. They lost that dragon. They lost a massive gold. Well, they never had a massive gold lead, but they fell behind in gold at that point. And then they started losing towers. Everything snowballed from there. And honestly, that team fight was probably the turning point.
Okay, that was the big turning point. Who do you think was the most influential players for both teams? I would have to say on Glacial Rising Phoenix, I thought that even though Joey Desu had a couple misplays here and there, he did what he could to kind of keep his team ahead with the early aggression in the top lane, able to make sure that he was able to keep Jeremy Flip out of a little bit of that Aatrox aggression and the lane dominance he has. But on the side of NG Blossom, like we were talking about throughout the game, Cantnator was able to position so well and pump out so much damage in these team fights that he had to be in what I call the big brain player for that game.
I mean, Catnator's the coach for them. He's definitely very well versed in leading this team. I think for Glacial Rising Phoenix, Joey Desu played his lane well, but that was just not enough in the end. I think Xylandis was the one making all the movements, playing the Bard and trying to set up a lot of the early success that Glacial Rising Phoenix was feeling. Yeah, Joey Desu got a lot of 1v1 kills. Xylandis was making the movements and trying to bring the pressure. I respect him for Glacial Rising Phoenix as my top pick. I think coming from NG Blossom, there was just across the board great amount of talent. I mean, Catnator got big and then did exactly his job. Martin was very effective in a number of team fights, getting knockups. Jeremy Flip, especially as we got past that early laning phase, really started to bring the pressure. So I think it's hard to say, oh, one person on NG Blossom was the carry. I think everyone on NG Blossom was the carry.
And I have to agree with you. They all did their role and their lane respectively. Like we just talked about, Martin had 21 out of 25 kill participation. He was just so far ahead of the board, doing everything he needed to on a Rakan jungle, which I'd personally never seen before. Extremely strong play from all the characters, all the players, and that just shows why NG Blossom is the number one seed going into the playoffs.
It really came to individual talent, and it was excellent. The one thing that I feel like we were denied, XDME, why didn't you show us a lot of really big highlight plays on Kiana? I want to know why you didn't give us those highlight plays when you picked such a wild champ. I'm going to hold you out on that one.
And after that game from Glacial Rising Phoenix and NG Blossom, we now move into the playoffs. What are you looking to see from these teams as we get ready to ramp up into these final couple of games of the ALS?
Well, this was the last game, so we're going to see these playoffs. I need to see the playoff schedule, but I think we're just going to have to see what the raw talent of teams do. I think we're going to see a lot of power coming in from Iron Dragon, who my understanding is they will be playing in those quarterfinals. They're probably the best team in the quarterfinal. Just pure record. They won last split. Now they're having to go about this the hardest way, but I think they have that talent. I really want to see that guy and Trigger Happy have really impressed me lately. I want to see what they can do. And honestly, like, Huge Minion Difference is still my sleeper. They take games hard and long and really make opponents earn their wins. I think they've just been a little bit unlucky. So when we get into those early games, those are the teams I really want to watch and see how they do.
And for those of the teams that didn't quite make playoffs, hey, we want to give a nice thank you, and we're so glad to see you guys come out for the ALS. Really glad to see the momentum and the energy and just the overall play that you guys brought. Maybe you guys can get into the playoffs next time. We're definitely ready to see what these teams can offer and what you will show in the future.
Absolutely. But this has been a fantastic day of League. We had 3 truly great games. I'm looking forward to next week. We will be having our quarterfinals start on Saturday the 8th. Playoff information will be posted Monday night. So be sure to check the ALS website and the ALS Discord. Always encourage people to join that ALS Discord. There's a lot of fun that happens in there. We're just gonna have to see what happens starting Saturday.
Big thank you from everybody, and once again, I'm Pasta Boy with the man, the legend, Jeff the Magic Goat. We want to thank you guys all for coming out and watching these games and experiencing these exciting games that finished up the regular split with us today.
Absolutely. It's been fantastic, guys. We will see y'all next week.